Hello, I'm a psychologist with over 25 years of experience working with survivors and victims of sexual assault. I've also authored a book, The Garden of Secrets, which focuses on sexual abuse. And for this video, I'm going to focus on how do we prevent sexual abuse of children. And I will focus on 7 points. We all know that sexual abuse of children is a crime, and it's every adult's responsibility to keep children safe. Child sexual abuse is preventable, and our society is filled with an increase of sexual assault and crime against children and women. And this video is to educate and give insight into how we can start protecting our children from sexual abuse. Point number 1, 91% of child sexual abuse is perpetrated by family members or friends of the family. And most people have a hard time talking about this topic. All cultures have a hard time dealing with this topic because it's a taboo. However, if we want to prevent sexual abuse, then we have to all start to talk, think, and take action to confront this problem. Point number 2, listen and talk to our children. Communication is the most important principle in keeping our kids safe from sexual abuse. And we do this by creating a climate in our home where kids are not afraid to share information about things that may be embarrassing or may bring them fear. We have to talk about taboo issues in our home and make it a daily conversation or weekly so our kids can be comfortable and bring things to us when it happens and if it happens to them. We also have to talk about their bodies. Young children, as you know, are very curious about just about everything, but especially bodies. They want to know the name of their body parts and what it does. And we have to use accurate terms to identify and label body parts, especially private parts. So we have to use the proper word like penis, vagina, breasts. And when we do this, we allow our children to feel proud of their body. And when we don't use nicknames or make up names for private parts, it creates less confusion. So let's use proper terminology when we talk to our children about their body. We also have to tell our children that private parts should only be touched by a doctor when they're doing an exam in the doctor's office, or if they have an accident in the bathroom and they need help. This will also teach them to have control over their body and also give them power over their body and let them know when and who can touch them. Young children are just trying to figure out how the world works and their body. So when they ask us questions, we have to respond to their question with calm, matter of fact, and use appropriate language. And for some reason we're too busy or we don't know the answer to the question, we can tell them, mama's busy right now or grandma's busy. Why don't you give me a few minutes? Let me finish this and then we'll talk about it. Or you say, I'm not sure about the answer, but give me a few minutes. But we have to remember to come back and talk to them about their questions. By doing this, we are teaching our kids that they're important and they're special and they have value. So it's very important that we sit and we talk to them and we answer their questions. Point number 3, molesters in our family and community. The best way to keep our children safe is to keep them away from people in our community or in our home that we know have a tendency to touch children inappropriately. Studies show that if a pedophile has access to children, they will molest. So the best solution is to keep them out of our home and out of our surrounding where children are involved. But for some reason, if we're unable to stop them from coming to our home, where we have minors, then we have to take steps to protect the children, which means ask 3 or 4 adults to supervise children while this person's in your home. So that means children are never to be left alone while this person is there. So you have 2, 3 adults rotating. And if he tries to approach children, you have one of the adults say, oh, I got this. You can go somewhere else. I have the kids. And if this person insists in staying in the room, then grab the kids and take them to a different room. This is a very serious matter that we do not allow them to be alone with children. Point number 4, talk about secrets. We need to talk to our children about secrets that we can keep and secrets that we can't. So a secret about a birthday surprise party or anniversary party, these are fun, playful secrets. So it's okay for them to keep these secrets. But sometimes secrets can hurt people, like when somebody touches your private parts and tells you it's a secret between the 2 of you. This isn't a situation where we have to tell, because secret that hurts should never be kept. And we have to teach our children to tell somebody they trust and keep talking until somebody believes them. If they tell somebody they trust, that person doesn't believe them, they keep asking, keep talking until you find somebody that does believe you. Point number 5, teach our children their rights. Every child deserves to be loved, protected, and cherished. And this is the goal of every parent. Is that, when you're pregnant with that little baby, you're excited for it to come into the world so you can love on them. And we have a responsibility to protect kids. And we also need to teach our children that no one should look at the private parts of your body or ask you to look at the private part of their body. No one should touch the private part of your body or ask you to touch the private part of their body. And no one should show you pictures of private parts on television, cell phone, computer, magazines, or books. And this is, again, we're teaching and we're empowering our children. And children also need to know that if somebody tries or touches their private parts, that this is not their fault. Children automatically blames themselves when something happens. So by telling them this, we're preparing them to not feel responsible, to not take on that responsibility. We tell our children their only job is to tell, and then the adults will protect them. Another point is the education that we give our kids, especially when they're younger, is when we give them a bath. And this is a time that you can teach them a song about how to protect your body, how to own their body. And you can teach them to say, my body belongs to me. My body belongs to me. And also teach them to say no, stop. And this is how we empower our kids to know that the body's theirs. They can say no and they can say stop. And we do this while we're bathing them in a game format. There's also a song at the end of this video that we can sing with the kids that also talks about how do they protect themselves. Again, we're teaching them about their body, that it belongs to them. We're teaching them that they can say no, they can say stop. And we also need to tell our children that they should never, ever keep secrets about touching private parts. It doesn't matter who that person is. It doesn't matter what they say. It could be your parents, it could be grandparents, it could be aunts and uncles, it can be cousin, it could be a stranger, it could be a family friend, it can be a teacher, a coach, it can be a babysitter, it can be a priest, it can be a pastor, it doesn't matter. Anyone that touches your private parts, you have to tell somebody you trust. And then point number 6, we need to know the adults and teenager in our children's life. So this means any activity that we put our kids in, we need to go in, meet the players and see if we do trust them. If we have a teenager babysitting our kids in their home, we need to go to that house, meet the parents, see the traffic in and out, and see if we feel safe with our children being in that home. If not, then we tell the teenager, why don't you watch my kids in my home? Also, when our kids are having play dates, we also need to meet the parents of that child. We don't just drop them off. We walk in, we meet everybody. We also, they have siblings, they have grandparents, they have uncles, they have people that come into the house. So we have to feel safe in order to leave our children in somebody else's care. And for some reason we don't feel safe, it's always good to have the play dates in your home. We also need to talk with our teenagers if they're going out of the house, to have consistent rules. If the plan changes, they need to notify us. For example, if they're saying they're going to a movie as a group, but then while they're out, they decide to go to dinner instead, they should text or call or leave a message to say, we're not doing a movie anymore, we're doing dinner. This way, the family is informed and everybody's in sync. Another important thing to do is to check with your child occasionally by asking them questions such as, how do you like your grandfather? Is he nice to you? What do you talk about? What does he do when you're together? Where do you sit? Where does he sit? What do you talk about? What does he play with? These questions can apply to anybody that our children are with. By asking these questions, we get a sense of what's happening in between the time that they're not with you. And it also gives you information. If you need to intervene and protect your child, you can. Point number 7, limit and monitor technology closely. Kids are very curious and can easily stumble into spaces online that are inappropriate or could be dangerous. So as parents and caregivers, we have to be careful to make sure that we are supervising their internet use. And for teenagers, we have to talk to them how to use technology in a way that respects their words, respects their body, and respects their values. And thank you for listening. My hope with these videos is to educate, especially this video, is to educate on facts of sexual abuse, to eliminate opportunities for perpetrators to have access to children, and to have an open communication about sexual abuse so we can end and minimize and eliminate this violation to our children. Again, thank you for listening and joining this fight to end sexual abuse. Please share this with your contacts so we can continue this conversation. Have a blessed day. Until next time.
Hello, my name is Cynthia, and today we're going to do the My Body is My Body program. We're going to sing some songs, have some fun, and learn about how to keep safe. You know, our bodies are very special, and nobody has the right to hurt us, or touch our private parts, or do anything that makes us feel uncomfortable. Because it's our special body. We're going to do the first song now, and I want you to sing along with me. It's